In this video, we're going to share with you how much does it cost to sail down the Jersey coast, up the Delaware Bay, and down the Chesapeake Bay.
And we're going to go in details about our food costs, fuel costs, alcohol costs, dock costs, boat-related costs, and some miscellaneous costs. And make sure to stay to the end when we're going to tally up the totals.
We ended up getting stuck in Atlantic Highlands for a little while we were waiting for a weather window. And that's why it took us 20 days to make it down the Jersey coast and into Cape May.
And then we sailed up the Delaware, through the C&D Canal, and down the Chesapeake Bay to Norfolk, which took us 298 nautical miles. And make sure to subscribe to not miss future videos about area-specific costs. Our food costs were $215. We mainly did a lot of grocery shopping, which saved us a lot of money on food, and then cooked up a lot of different kind of meals on board. Especially when you're sailing and not stopping, that's really convenient. We also went out a few times to eat. Just like in Atlantic Highlands, we stopped at Julio's, which had some really interesting flavors of pizza. And went a few other times out and stopped in Cape May to a fun restaurant.
We're at George's right now, and it's all you can eat for a lunch setup and breakfast setup for like really affordable prices. Like I think it's $6 something for the breakfast and $7 something for the lunch. So I mean you can't go wrong with that, and it's really good.
Our fuel costs were $47.
We did a lot more sailing during this section of our passage. We motor sailed the Atlantic Ocean part of our passage because the light wind and wind on our nose kind of made it difficult to just sail. That's the beauty about a sailboat. With only a half gallon per hour of diesel, even when you got a motor, it's pretty cheap. We also motored the C&D Canal since the current was pretty crazy. We also used our dinghy a little bit in the Atlantic Highlands to get to and from shore.
Our dock costs were $75. We didn't spend too much money on docks because we were at anchor for quite a few nights in Atlantic Highlands or Solomon Island and in Cape May. And we did pay for a mooring ball once we went to Annapolis because there wasn't really many places to anchor, and there was also a tornado warning when we were there. So we found a mooring ball for $25, which was just after Spock Creek Bridge, which was a little cheaper than the main field, which is $35. And it was much more calmer.
Alcohol was $65.
We bought a little bit of wine and beers, and of course had a few sundowners, but that's pretty much it.
Boat-related costs, $383.
For this portion, we spent a little more on our boat. We bought a bunch of alcohol for our stove, and we also went to Bacon's consignment store in Annapolis. We picked up some things like some fittings for our bimini, a manual bilge pump because we never had one. We also bought a new to us storm jib for $150.
And our miscellaneous costs were $101.
We spent $70 for the month for our cell plan with T-Mobile and bought a few little things like sunglasses, shorts. We spent money to do our laundry at Annapolis City Docks and for really cheap in Atlantic Highlands.
Here's a recap of all of our costs that we spent. Our total for this period ended up being
$886.
Click over here for a full playlist on more cost-related content.
And click over here for our video on how much does it cost to sail the ICW to Florida.